In June 2025, the US and Israel launched Operation Midnight Hammer, striking Iran's key nuclear sites after diplomatic efforts collapsed. B-2 stealth bombers hit the Fordo and Natanz enrichment facilities with massive bunker-buster bombs, while Tomahawk missiles targeted Isfahan's uranium conversion center. The goal cripple Iran's nuclear weapon capability and prevent a shift in Middle East power. Despite advanced planning and powerful munitions, the world was left questioning whether the strikes truly neutralized Iran's program or simply escalated the conflict. The aftermath set the stage for a new, unpredictable phase in the region. The White House declared total victory, holding a press conference to assure the nation and the world that the threat had been neutralized. Officials insisted Iran's nuclear threat was eliminated, touting the operation as a decisive blow that would ensure long-term security for the region. But behind closed doors, a leaked Pentagon assessment painted a very different picture. According to classified documents, the strikes only delayed Iran's program by months, not years. Most uranium stockpiles and centrifuges survived the attack, leaving the core of the program intact. Israel, meanwhile, claimed the operation had set Iran back much further, suggesting a longer setback, but even they stopped short of calling it a complete success. Conflicting reports quickly fueled a political storm in Washington. Lawmakers and officials dismissed intelligence leaks, cancelled briefings, and argued fiercely over the true impact of the mission. The public, bombarded by mixed messages, was left in the dark, unsure if Operation Midnight Hammer had truly achieved its aims or if the threat still lingered. The reality on the ground was sobering. Iran's nuclear infrastructure proved far more resilient than expected, with much of it remaining operational despite the strikes. As the world watched and debated, the operation's effectiveness remained in question, deepening global uncertainty and raising new concerns about what might come next. Iran anticipated the attack, mobilizing its military and intelligence networks in the days leading up to the strikes. Commanders coordinated a rapid response, placing air defense units and elite forces on high alert across the country. Sensitive materials, including uranium and advanced centrifuges, were moved under the cover of darkness to secret sites before the strikes began, making it harder for attackers to inflict lasting damage. At Fordo, entrances were sealed with reinforced barriers designed to absorb bomb blasts, and additional security measures were put in place to protect the underground facility. While Natanz suffered heavy damage from precision strikes, Fordo's core infrastructure survived, demonstrating the effectiveness of Iran's defensive preparations. Iran's leaders swiftly condemned the strikes, using the attacks to fuel anti-US and anti-Israel protests in major cities, where crowds rallied in defiance and anger. Officials vowed to continue their nuclear efforts, insisting that the attacks would not halt Iran's scientific progress or national ambitions. Official statements remained deliberately vague, keeping adversaries and the international community guessing about Iran's true capabilities and future intentions. The strikes capped a brief but intense firefight. Israel bombed Tehran and key missile sites, igniting a dangerous escalation. Iran retaliated with missile barrages on Beersheba, causing casualties and destruction on both sides, and raising fears of a wider regional conflict. The violence underscored the high human cost, with families mourning lost loved ones and communities reeling from the devastation. The volatility of the conflict left cities on edge as emergency sirens and chaos became the new normal for many civilians. Iran's ambiguous response left the world uncertain about what remained of its nuclear program and whether the crisis had truly passed or was only just beginning. President Trump announced a fragile ceasefire, halting direct attacks and offering a brief respite from escalating violence. The world paused, holding its breath, as the news spread rapidly across continents. Yet the announcement revealed deep divisions among allies and adversaries, exposing rifts that had been simmering beneath the surface for months. At a tense NATO summit, leaders publicly welcomed the truce, hoping it would prevent further escalation and buy time for diplomacy. But behind closed doors, many worried about the operation's fallout and conflicting damage reports. Russia offered to mediate, but the US declined, highlighting broader global tensions and mistrust. Israel, meanwhile, vowed to prevent Iran from rebuilding its military capabilities, promising to remain vigilant and ready to act if provoked. In Tehran, Iranian hardliners rejected the ceasefire outright, denouncing it as a Western ploy and calling for continued resistance. They demanded renewed nuclear efforts, fueling fears of a new arms race in the region and deepening international concern. Regional mistrust and public anger in Iran complicated any hope for lasting peace, as demonstrations erupted in the streets. The ceasefire paused open conflict, but the sense of uncertainty lingered, with both sides remaining on high alert. The underlying issues remained unresolved. The world watched anxiously, hoping for stability but fearing the worst. For now, the peace was tenuous at best, and the future remained uncertain for all involved. Independent experts agree Iran's nuclear program is damaged, not destroyed. Iran retains uranium, centrifuges, and crucial scientific expertise, assets bombs can't erase. Tehran is expected to rebuild in secret, making future detection and intervention far harder. The strikes bought time but pushed Iran toward a more covert, resilient program. Diplomacy seems unlikely, and military action risks provoking a desperate nuclear push. The world remains on edge, uncertain when or where Iran's nuclear ambitions will resurface.